Well, again, welcome back to the book reviews of some of the old childhood mystery books. I was going to do either The Three Investigators of Trixie Belden next, but I think I'm going to do the second Bobbsey Twin book. The Trixie Belden books and The Three Investigators, I'm still getting used to doing book reviews. Those are quite a bit longer than the Bobbsey Twins and the McQuirk books, and I want to make sure that I get my thoughts together and can give it in a concise manner. So I'm going to keep doing the two shorter mystery series, at least for now. So I started out with the new Bobbsey Twin book number 1. This is number 2, The Case of the Runaway Money. Now this one involves basically what's considered to be a locked room mystery. I'm sure you've heard of that before. A lot of times they would be in like adult novels, as an example. I think Agatha Christie did that before, where there would be usually a murder, but it could be a theft. But it happens in a room that was locked. There was no way in. And, for instance, I know in an Agatha Christie novel there was someone who was murdered in a room, and it was locked from the inside. And the point is, well, how did they get killed? There was no way in for the murderer to come in or leave, because if they left, the door couldn't have been locked from the inside. How did that happen? I think even the Sherlock Holmes a story had something to that effect. Oh boy, my mind's gone. The Sign of Four. The murder in that was kind of a locked room mystery. But again, this of course doesn't deal with murder, but it's still a matter of it being locked room. What happens in this case isn't really a locked room; it's more of a locked box. So the Bobbsey twins, the older twins, Bert and Nan, they're involved in a mini marathon race, and the winner of the marathon race gets prize money, which has been donated by different very rich and upper class people in the town. Now, the point of it though is that the box is it's a cardboard box that has a slot where people can donate money, and the box has not been opened, and it's a box that actually can't be just opened. It needs to be actually ripped open, kind of like a piggy bank. You can't just open it, you have to actually smash the piggy bank. Well, the point is though that the box hasn't been tampered with, and it was actually transported by armored truck. So the armored truck went from the city hall where the money was being collected to the race, and the box hasn't been tampered with. It was given to the mayor at the end of the race, and when the race was over, he opened up the box. He ripped open the box, and there was nothing in it but a torn newspaper, I believe. And the mystery is, well, how did the money get stolen? Because it wasn't tampered with. They could tell, they would be able to tell if the box was ripped open and even taped shut or something of that nature. Nothing like that happened. So it's up to the Bobbsey twins to figure out what happened. It's a pretty interesting mystery, and again, I like these mysteries because they don't talk down to kids. They make you think. There's nothing in it that would be objectionable for children. I mean, again, like I said, there's no violent crime. There's theft. There's a bad guy who goes to jail. So it's not like the McQuirk organization, at least in the beginning books, where the crimes were just kiddie crimes that really didn't involve actual crimes. This doesn't involve a crime. Just like in the first book, Lieutenant Pike is the officer who is kind of in charge of the investigation, and he's friendly with the Bobbsey twins. It's not like, some of the detective novels, even the adult ones, and even especially the, some of the young adult ones, the police officer is kind of like antagonistic towards our detective. This is not like that. The Lieutenant Pike genuinely likes the Bobbsey twins. Just reminds them don't do anything dangerous, and they usually don't. Actually, they usually do. Like when they figure something out, they'll go right to Lieutenant Pike, and he'll make the arrest. They don't usually try to do things on their own the way McQuirk does, and that's why Lieutenant Casper especially doesn't like the way McQuirk operates. But again, sticking with the Bobbsey twin book, it's a pretty interesting book. I said before, I'm going to try not to reveal the denouement, the villains, and how things were done, because I want you to have your own, I want you to be able to enjoy it for yourself. Now, I will say this too, though. Unlike a lot of book reviews where the books are widely available, these, they're pretty old. They're not valuable. They're not, it's not like, I can't think of a valuable book right now, but it's not a book where you have to go to eBay and it'll cost you hundreds of dollars to buy it. It's not like that. It's just these books are kind of rare. They weren't really popular to begin with back in the day, which I find to be a real shame. But even just besides that, they haven't been printed in a long time. I mean, this one was printed. Oh, let's see, October 1987. So that's 34 years ago, almost 35 years ago. So again, it's hard to find these. I had them from my childhood, but well, I guess I was like 11 or 12 at the time, but still, I had them from that time. But again, it's hard to find. So if you can't find them and you really want to know the results of it, you can contact me, maybe even in the comments. I'll give a spoiler warning if I do give the resolution of it in the comments. I'll let you know. I'll let you know that. I'll give a spoiler warning, letting you know that I'm going to do that if that's something that someone wants to have done. Anyway, let's go over the suspects, and then we'll just go straight to my impressions of the book and my childhood memories of it. Now, again, I'm kind of doing this off the cuff. I have some notes here, but I thought it would just be easier to just do it from memory. I remember these books pretty well. That's another thing about my childhood books. The ones I read, or were read to me as a child, these I think I read myself as I was already older, but they stick with me more than ones I've read when I was older. Even adult novels, it's funny, I remember things from my childhood more than I do from 5 years ago. But anyway, the mayor, let's see now, if I remember correctly, the box was in the mayor's office, so the mayor is a suspect. There is a wealthier woman who is a suspect because of the way she acts. She pays everything in cash. She doesn't believe in banks. She goes and has this like big spending spree, and that makes the twins kind of suspicious. So she's a suspect. One of the people who, like I said, one of the important people in the town, he immediately leaves. He leaves town right away, so that makes him a suspect. So the Bobbsey twins have several suspects, and then of course there's the armored car driver, who is the owner of the armored car company, armored truck, I should say, the owner of the armored truck company. He's the driver who transported the money box from the mayor's office to the race, and then his assistant Hank, he was in the back of the armored truck watching the box. And and he testifies, hey, no one came in, no one was able to like take the box from me. But of course he's a suspect because he also handled the box. So there are several suspects. It's kind of interesting how the Bobbsey twins trail the suspects, and also how they find clues along the way and then find the villain. So my impressions of the books, again, now they're quite a bit different from the early McQuark books in the sense that the early McQuark books don't involve real crimes. The Bobbsey twins books do, but I like both of them. And I guess the reason why is because what I didn't like is the change, especially the change in the Bobbsey twin books, because they went from the first 17 of the new Bobbsey twin books were real crimes. I think all of them were real crimes. Maybe one or two of them weren't actual crimes, but they were pretty serious, okay? And we'll go along and we'll see just how serious. There are government plans being stolen, even. So they're pretty serious crimes. Now, then, what I didn't like was that in the latter 12 books, there are 30 books in the series, they completely do a 180, and they're just like kiddie things that go on, like someone steals chocolate and cookies. Just really kiddie things, which I didn't like because one, it was when you have an established routine and you suddenly change it, I don't like that. I don't like change. That's why actually going back to if you look at some of my earlier reviews, I mentioned some of the comic books, the Superman comic books. In the mid '80s, they had that big reboot with the Crisis, and I couldn't stand that. I don't like changing things. Like maybe that's just me, but I don't. And with this, it really seemed to they really kind of not dumbed down, but talked down. Like they seem to have been going for a younger audience, starting with book 18. Now, maybe that's what they wanted to do. They figured the tweens aren't going to buy the books, and maybe the younger ones will, but it just seemed to be a very jarring change. And especially, too, since I was getting older at the time, I was already a tween when these came out, but by that time I was a teenager. So, it just didn't have the same import with me. But I'm sorry, I'm going a little off track here. Going back to this book, I really liked the book. I liked the way it was very logical. The way things happened, there weren't things where I was scratching my head, going, "That doesn't make any sense." And that happens with adult mysteries sometimes too. So this book was very, very well written, kept the attention of kids, and yet didn't. Again, like I said, I didn't talk down to them, but it also wasn't talking in a way that kids wouldn't understand. The way it unfolded made a lot of sense to me as a 11, 12-year-old, I guess. So I really liked it. I don't recall any specific childhood memories as far as I know, like I said, my mom read books to me as a child, but I think I was a bit younger. No, I was younger than 12, so I guess she read not the original series, but the Wanderer Bobbsey Twin series to me from the early 80s. Not the new Bobbsey Twin series from the late 80s and early 90s. I was already reading them on my own and reading them for myself. I remember, again, reading them several times as a kid. I used to go through them quite a bit as a kid, especially the first 17. I bought 18 to 30. I did read those too, because I guess this might be like my meticulous ways. I like to read things in order, but I really enjoyed the earlier ones more. So that's my personal opinion of it. Now, I know I mentioned before, I actually own the rights to some of the photos taken of the models that were used for the artwork. So if you want to see them, contact me. I have them online, but not on YouTube. I don't think, in fact, I know it wasn't. No, this is still George Sue. I don't have any for this particular book. Once Paul Jenna started doing the artwork, then I have them. I think that might be the next book, or book number 4. It's coming up pretty soon. He did them up until book 17. So that's an interesting thing. And even if you want to see some of the artwork in here, I have those scanned as well. So of all the books, I have them all scanned. So you can, if you want to see them, contact me, and I'll be more than happy to share that with you. So I guess that's the end of my impressions. I just want to see if there was anything else in the on this review that I have here that I didn't mention. I mean, there were a few things I didn't mention. Like I said, in my online review when I was doing a blog many years ago, I actually did reveal the criminal. So I don't think I have anything here that I don't. No, it just no, I pretty much covered it. So that's it then. That's the review. Thank you for your time. Next time I don't know what I'm going to do next time, honestly. I might go to the second McQuirk book, or I might go to either the Three Investigators or Trixie Belden. So please join me then. If you have a preference, please leave it in the comments. Say, hey, you know what, do so-and-so next time, and I will. I'd like to do them in order, though. So if you say, hey, I really like book 41 of the Three Investigators, a book 23 of the Bobbsey Twins or something, I would rather do them in order. Unless, if you really want that done, and I don't know, but I prefer to do them in order. But if there's a series that you want me to do next, by all means, let me know. Thank you again for watching. Take care.